Morning Willow class. Okie dokie, so today we are going to be continuing to read a little bit more of our story Wonder. Now yesterday I asked you guys to read up to page 93. Today what I want you to do is to read up to page 119, so you'll see that actually throughout these few pages that I've asked you to read, it goes on to now different characters' perspectives. So it started off with August, then it goes to Via or Olivia, which is August's sister, and then this chapter it moves on to Summer, and I want you to just read that page and then stop there. Okay, so read up to there and then stop there. Your work is going to be based around this, but then the actual work that I set you off to do is based around that page, so it is really important that you read up to there. So I have just written a paragraph from the text which is on page 79. So if you do want to read along in the book, that's absolutely fine. And it just starts part way down on page 79. I have just written it because what we need to do is actually now identify how authors use setting, description and atmosphere. That's meant to be characters. So setting, characters and atmosphere, which I've got written just down here. And we need to think about all of those three things and how they were used yesterday in the video that we watched, and now how they are used in here. So what I want you to do is just pause the video for me, have a read of this, and just see if you can identify any setting description, any character description, and anything that talks about the atmosphere in that scene, okay? So pause the video and just have a quick read if you can. Okay, you'll see that I've just quickly changed the lesson objective so that it does suit our three things that we're looking at today. Okay, so I'll just have a quick read of this for you and then we'll start to see if we can identify any of these things. I've been in enough playgrounds to know that kids can be mean. I know. I ended up in the second floor bathroom. No one was there because first lesson had started. I locked the door to my stall and took off my mask and I just cried. Then I went to the nurse's office and told her I had a stomachache, which was true. I felt like I'd been kicked in the gut. Okay, so it's quite a powerful paragraph this from the story, and it's where August realises that Jack Will isn't actually being very nice to him about him behind his back. So what we need to do now is look at these three things, and I've created a key at the bottom which just identifies the setting, the character and the atmosphere. So if we look at the setting, I'm going to underline in here, and hopefully you've had a quick look at this, I'm going to underline anything that describes the setting. So I've been in enough playgrounds to know that kids can be mean. So we're talking about a playground there. I know. I ended up in the second floor bathroom. So this is where he is now, okay? No one was there because first lesson had started. That's not necessarily about the setting, that's a bit more about the atmosphere. I locked the door to my stall, so we know that he is in just a cubicle in the toilets, and I took off my mask and just cried. Then I went to the nurse's office and told her I had a stomachache, which was true. I felt like I'd been kicked in the gut. Now, hopefully you guys will agree that that is pretty much all of the setting within there. It isn't a very good setting description, and hopefully when you guys come to write your own tomorrow, you can get a little bit more description about maybe what the nurse's office looks like, what the second floor bathroom is like, is it boring, is it dull, what colour is it, that sort of stuff. Then let's have a look at the characters. So we know that this is from August's perspective. And we know that it says, I've been in enough playgrounds to know that kids can be mean. So it's talking about other kids, it's talking about other characters, okay? No one was there because first lesson had started. So again, it's describing the characters that are there, and it's nobody, no one else is there with him, it's just him. I locked the door to my stall and I took off my mask and cried. That is a little bit about his character description, isn't it? But obviously it's first person as opposed to third. When it talks about mask, that's his astronaut's helmet, isn't it, that he uses to hide his disfigurement. Then I went to the nurse's office and told her I had a stomachache. So again, it's a little bit more about how he's feeling. So it's a bit more about the character description. And then I felt like I'd been kicked in the gut. That is all about August as a character, okay? Then let's have a look finally now at atmosphere. So atmosphere can be anything. In a text, it's not... So yesterday, sorry, when we were doing the video, we looked at the sound, the lighting, the camera angles. Today, when we talk about atmosphere, we're just talking about maybe those cohesive devices, the repetition that the author might use, that sort of thing. So the atmosphere, we've got, I know, and that's to really emphasise that how he's feeling. That's to really emphasise the atmosphere, okay? I also think that's quite important because it doesn't say I went to, it says I ended up. That makes him sound like he's in a real state. He's really devastated and upset, isn't he? Then again, we talked about the first lesson starting. That's a little bit more about the atmosphere, about what's going on around him, things like that. I locked the door to my stall and took off my mask and just cried. Then I went to the nurse's office and told her I had stomachache, which was true. So again, we've added a little bit more information here. So I would say he's feeling like he has to justify why he's basically wanting to go home. So that's even creating even more atmosphere. It's making us feel really sorry for him, okay? If you're struggling with this atmosphere and what's setting and what's atmosphere, think about the things that are making you sympathise with him, and those things that make you sympathise with him are atmosphere things, okay? So what you guys are going to do today is exactly like I have done here on the board. Now, if you are lucky enough at home, and you might have a photocopier or a printer, or if you don't, you can just handwrite it like I have done. I want you to have a look at the section on the text which is posted below from page 119, and what I want you to do, this is from Summer's perspective. So what I want you to do is to then create a key like I have for these three things and underline them. If you can colour code them, that would be better. But if you can't, it doesn't matter. All I would do is say, for example, anything that's underlined with a wiggly line in pencil is setting. Anything that is a zigzag line is character, and anything that's a straight line is atmosphere. So if you don't have any coloured pens at home, use that as your key instead of colours. Okay. So it's page 119 and I've posted it below just as a reminder. All right guys, good luck with your learning today.